You and Lorraine's Let's Talk live stream.
On the Black Business Recommendation.
Yes.
Now, here's the thing. We've tried to go on live and we've had a bit of issues with turbulence, as well as today is one of those days that we've all realized that social media is not within our power.
It's fallible.
So what we are going to do, we're going to talk with Mr. Paul Mohammed, and we're going to talk about Money Mob.
Yes.
Now, the thing is, we were talking earlier on, but because there are so many little issues going on, we've restarted. So we're back and we're welcoming back Paul. Hello, sir. How are you?
I am fine.
Hello.
Good to see you.
You sound amazing now.
Yeah, you know what? You were skipping every other word, and we were a bit concerned because we just thought, if you're skipping the words, is it okay? Because maybe we're hearing it skipping it, and if it's coming out truthfully, yeah. But you know what? We're glad to have you here, and we're happy to start again. And thank you so much
for your time and for sharing with us. It's a great pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you. A real pleasure to have to be a part of it. Again, as I said, I was very, very blessed because I remember when we actually officially launched, I met you both at the event. Event. I never met you before, and I know you've been a support and in the foreground for so long, and I salute you, and I love you both for that.
Oh,
and God you know what? You. And you know, in returning of the compliment, naturally, what you have been doing is so needed and so revolutionary.
Yes.
Yeah, to actually get people to come to a place of business to come and support them in such a way as a mob, in a positive way.
Yes.
Yeah, not in a negative mob, but a positive mob to come in and buy from the services of whoever's providing. Indeed. To go to markets, to let people know and actually create that venue so people can actually come in and participate and sell what they have. Sir, I applaud you because that is just, marvelous. We really do respect that.
Let's start in our usual way.
Yes. So, sir, we are here to support you and to support what Money Mob represents. But before we even do so, who are you?
Okay, who am I? All right, well, as I said, my name is Paul Mohammed. I am the founder of Buy Black crowdfunding, crowd purchase movement called the Money Mob. Money Mob essentially uses group economics to support Black businesses. Our main claim to fame is the actual, as we talked about, the actual Money Mob event, where we actually target a business, usually by referrals. And then what tends to happen is either myself or one of the team will visit the business, and it passes our criteria. What we do, we gather our social media, whether it's radio, television, and per se, and then on a date and time we mob that business. It could be and in mobbing that business, it could be 10 people coming down to support. It could be 110 people coming down. Each person is required to spend no less than £10 per person on that business. And in that way, we can directly affect the business financially by giving them an injection in regards to that day. But not only that, we're able to also make people aware via promotion, by the marketing, by the PR, in regards to the business. What's the story of the business? Who are the people that run the business? Because it's not just bricks and mortar. There are people, there's families that are attached here. And we want to be able to do that, let people know exactly where it is, and also what they actually have. And we've been blessed for doing that, and for the last 5 years. May this year is 5 years of the actual Money Mob itself.
Wow.
And we we've done a online Money Mob. We did an online Money Mob last year, And as well as other things, I'm also a broadcaster, so we have a residency in Colourful Radio, and we do podcasting weekly, supporting our
wonderful
businesses that are doing that. And as I said, we have services and so on and so forth. So that's kind of basically us.
Okay, so we'll delve into those in a little while.
Indeed.
But for the moment, we have been hit by an unfortunate circumstance. But at the same time, it's also what we as a people have to do is learn from adversity. Right now, we have been knocked down by the Facebook and the Twitter and the WhatsApp accounts being knocked out of the situation. It's left us with the sense of what was certainty is now uncertain.
Indeed.
How do you see that, and how do we as a community try to deal with that? How do you see that?
I think it's something that obviously we talked about earlier. Being able to now actually concentrate our efforts, letting people know, okay, number one, this is I think first things first, you have to inspire people to think outside of themselves, and then give direction in regards to that. And the idea of making sure now we're collecting data, but collecting data, letting people know that, look, this is what we're now looking to do. This is where we are. This is what we're trying to do. This is what how much money we're trying to raise, and giving people an idea of the journey so far. But I think, like we said before, it's important for us to be able to have our own voice. And the one thing that history has taught us is that we are a very resourceful people. You know what I mean? During the worst time of our journey, during us and that servitude kidnapping period, we were still a resourceful people. We were a growing people, and this is something that's kind of followed on through that time, followed on during the Windrush period, during the time when we were kind of growing up in inner city Britain, when jobs were very, very scarce, sus was very, very high. And we managed to really do some serious things with very, very, very little. And I think that's that spirit. In truth, I'll tell you now, I believe that is the spirit that is going to take us as a community to the next level. Because that's what happened. People are not resourceful. The whole world is not necessarily resourceful enough. But the people that are resourceful, not just have resources, but are resourceful and able to make certain things in a stretch on another kind of level and figure ways around it. Those are the people that's going to be on top. And that's why I'm very, very I'm very passionate in regards to it, because I think that as a people we are a resourceful people, and there's more to come to us. It's just for us to now inspire that.
Yeah, absolutely. Lovely. And you know what? Within that resourcefulness is the ability to collaborate, because we didn't do that before.
Indeed.
Right? We did. Of course, we've done it like everybody else has done it. But now there's a recognition of the power of collaboration. Exactly. And within that is where the resourcefulness comes in. So when you can collaborate with your penny and my penny, and then we work out what we can do with that penny, that's resourcefulness that is putting us to the next level. And if we all start thinking in that kind of way, you are right. It's stratospheric where we're going, but we have to start looking at where we are together. So this situation, as in Instagram, Facebook, knocked off, WhatsApp, and so on, what it should remind us is that we have been taking things as this is always going to be. Yeah. If we all remember that we are paying companies money every month, taking it out of our communities, putting it elsewhere, and we're not putting it into our communities every month, that resource that we have is going outdoors. And we need to make sure that we're putting it in the right way, and what you are doing is actually telling people that, look, you need to spend a percentage of what you have within your own community. Without that, we'll just be talking for months and years on end.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah? But to start, to bring it right the way back, I mean, obviously we can, continue on that on that thread later on. But I want to start with you, Paul. Where did, not even money, but where did you find that fire to say, do you know what, this is my path, this is what I want to do for our people? Where did that come from for you initially?
Okay, initially, it started quite simply. I saw a post that was done by a brother, and a beautiful brother, Paul McKenzie. He has a podcast called Soapbox, and
Yes.
it was a brother who actually works with him, and they did just a small little documentary about a lady that now is a good friend of mine, Sandra, who had a shop in Lewisham. And basically, what happened is that she mentioned in the documentary that a customer came into the shop. She asked for a product that they didn't have at the time, and they said to her, "Look, go on the high street. You should be able to get that particular product out there." So she said her goodbyes and she left. A few weeks later, the same lady came back into the shop and spoke to Sandra. Said, "Look, I've got the product. Thank you very, very much." But she also mentioned this. She said that when she was speaking to the gentleman who was serving her, he said to her, "Look, anything that woman can get can get you, we can do it 10% cheaper." And in fact, we're looking to get rid of her off the high street. And it was that aspect.
Wow.
I said to myself, I mean, I couldn't believe it. You imagine now a group of people, a group of businessmen, they're not in our community, deciding that they're now going to come together to get a black woman who's actually serving her community, not harming anyone. I was incensed. And it was that kind of lit my fire. And I said to myself,
right,
I've got to do something about it. And that's
So
basically what it was.
Yeah.
So that shop was Sandy, but it was Sandy's. That's the name of the shop.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a very high quality shop because she had about 3 different shops and one was closed. But I think, I'm not saying which one because I'm not too sure.
Yeah.
But Sandy's in South London is one of the first, the pioneers. Yes. And, she has some really good products there. So again, that's where it started from. Now, in terms of you yourself, prior to you finding out about that situation, what was your education? What was your business or your experience in work? What was that? What was that like?
Okay. All right. Well,
we're taking you there.
Look, I had grown. Now it's completely different. I grew up. My main thing was design. I was meant to be an architect. That was I grew up with my dad had a building company. He was a carpenter builder, and the idea was for me to go into that, design and then build and what have you. I started, I was working with my dad for a little while. It became a little bit intolerable. So I kind of quietly got myself out of that.
2 bull in a pen.
and then from there I kind of transitioned into design, menswear, women's wear, fashion, that kind of stuff. But that industry, I kind of kept into. In regards to other things, and then I went in and I've always been kind of I'm conscious in regards to a reality. Yes. I was a CEO of a movement called Power, people organizing and working for economic rebirth. I also then was a business minister. I did some trade in Africa, in particular the Gambia and Senegal. I also did business in America, especially like the Black Expo events that were very popular in the 90s. I went there. to Washington DC and you know,
Mhm.
and the
Okay.
like. So I always had some sort of an area in regards to, you know, doing business. I actually only did gosh, I only worked full time once in my whole life, and it was for a large kind of chain. But I mean,
Yeah.
generally, I've always kind of worked for myself. I'm probably one of these people never like anyone tell me what to do. So
Best way. We're learning. We're learning.
Well, that's
you
it,
know,
because that's what's brought you to where you are now, and you know, enable you, you know, to build Money Mob and to galvanize everybody to do what they're doing under your, you know, under that banner.
Under your wing. Now you know what I mean. You can you
Oh.
hear us, Paul?
Hi, Paul. Oh,
Yeah.
there you are.
Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Paul,
Hi,
can you hear
Paul.
us?
Hi, Paul. Have we lost you? Hi, Paul. I think he's frozen for the
No,
moment.
he's not.
everyone.
He's not frozen. He's moving, but we can't hear. We can't communicate.
Hello, Paul. I think he's going to try to come back in again. As I said, there has been issues, everyone,
There has
with
been
the
issues,
connections,
and
but we are going to persevere.
we're going to persevere. But if this doesn't happen, we're going to do it another day when it can happen.
But
So,
until he comes back with us, this
Yeah.
is the reason why we say that with all of these social media being down today, it is really important that we try and find other ways of coming forward, you know, of sharing and communicating.
yeah,
With us as a whole, it is really, when we do get back onto social media, we do have a questionnaire that we'd like you to fill out with all your details, so that we can let you know whichever media goes down, where you can find us and where you can get your information from. But we will share that a bit later on. Hopefully we do have Paul back here with us now, so let's come in. Hi, Paul. Are you back with us?
I'm indeed.
I'm indeed.
we never gave up on you.
We will continue.
We will
forge
continue.
through.
Yeah. Now, on the basis of what I was going to say was that with your experience, what you have basically shown is that you've had transferable skills, and that you have used in Money Mob in terms of promotion, marketing, getting people to network. So those are things that you've been putting together. So how many in your team in Money Mob? Do you have a team, and how many?
Well, in our team, because you
Yeah.
know, there's always them and us. I mean, I work with a sister called Glennis. She we call her. She not no. She has a company called Admin Nanny, and again, you know, being a great assistant, great team. I have another sister, Barbara Chandler. We call her Sister Barbara. Again, I wouldn't been able to do have a lot of the things that I've been blessed to do without, you know, us as a team kind of working together and do it. So yes, you know, I'm very blessed in that regard.
In that.
Yeah.
So,
Good.
so can I ask, where was the first Money Mob gathering, so to
Yeah,
speak?
your first Money Mob.
The very first.
Where's the first one
where?
done? Now you
Okay.
found out about Candies. Now what happens, and when does it happen?
Yeah.
Okay, so that right.
You're
So
galvanized now.
So when we was kind of all right, so we galvanized. I decided, well, look, something's got to be done. I put it out there in a group, and I said, look, this is what I'm looking to do. I've kind of found this idea, saw it from something that I saw in America. You know, what do you think? And I'm blessed. You know, I had friends who said to me, look, Paul, let's go and do it. We will support you. And so then what we did, you know, we put everything together, got everything kind of right. And then at that time, we just used, you know, text and WhatsApp to kind of get the message out there. And it does, as I said, it was something very simple, but it's something that really kind of galvanized people in a way that even I was quite surprised at. So then that was and then it was sometime in May. This is May 2016. we decided that this particular business we're going to target. It's called Evans Groceries, and they're in like the Catford Centre area. And we said, all right, we're going to now do this. So I said,
I remember that.
We actually mobbed that particular business, and it was fantastic. We had I had a brother who was a cameraman there. It's Mr. P. He's actually someone that you know, I think we both are aware of, and I met some other brothers who did a podcasting and what have you. Whilst we were down there, and literally, it was a wonderful time. I had a wonderful showing. And then it kind of took off really from there. And then we literally mobbed businesses once a month. It wasn't a grocery shop. It was a supermarket, a small supermarket, or it was a restaurant, what have you. And it was just fantastic. It just grew from there.
Yeah. And would you go anywhere, or how would it work? Would you plan in advance and say, right, okay, these are the areas that we're looking to hit this month?
Yeah, so basically what we would do, we would try to kind of plan at least, 2 or 3 months in advance.
Right.
Look, we were going to target, and it was like literally, north, south, east, and west. At one time, we did simultaneously. We did north, we did northwest. We did South London in Brixton, and it was like different groups of us was like mobbing these areas.
That's good.
Which was really, really fantastic. We managed to go to we then, I think that's right. And then from there we've done so many. We've gone as a group to France and supported
that is fabulous.
a festival that was there. We Paris as well as so we really, we've been around, put it that way.
Good.
And what has the reaction from the business owners of these establishments been over the period of time that you've been doing them?
I think that I think for many, I think it's surprised, because you're thinking because obviously there was some that maybe a little bit of aware, but there was some who were just completely taken aback. So one minute, everything, the next minute your shop is absolutely
teeming,
buying or what have you. And I remember we had one shop, and as I said, it was not even, all right, we had like a money mob, and it was only about 30 people that actually came, but that particular business at that time, they made almost £2,000 in regards to that particular kind of day. One business that it was a juice bar. We mobbed that juice bar. They literally had to send someone out to come back and bring in food, because it was absolutely, it was jam-packed. They said they never worked so hard in their life.
Brilliant.
So it was, it was on that kind of level. So I think people were very, 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 very happy, and I think they felt that, my goodness, someone actually cares enough about us. Because for me, as I said, I don't necessarily just look at the idea we're supporting. I know that it's about families. It's about and families actually sacrificing his children. And for me, it's much bigger than that. And that's one of the things we're trying to really convey, to the public, but also to the businesses that we're here, to actually care about what you're trying to do, because you're
trying to achieve. Yeah,
exactly. You're at the coal face. You're at the front there, and I think this is and I always use the phrase "business is war." And I know that sometimes people are like, "Oh my God, what were you talking about?" But it is,
it's a hard thing.
And exactly, and we have to have at least someone that's going to be there, that's going to be exclusively trying to champion the businesses, but particularly black businesses. And that was it. I said, it just kind of just fell into that, and it took over my whole life.
Okay. So you know what, in terms of that, in terms of you saying that business is war, you literally found that out on the first time when you heard about Sandy, because that was not a statement that people generally know. We all think we're working in tandem with people who are just doing business. but they're not. They're actually looking to take you out.
And
You know.
and that's the point, and that's the thing that we don't necessarily appreciate. And a lot of the time that, okay, I mean, what I do is, you know, yeah, we target you know, a particular, you know, business per se, bricks and mortar, but it's further than that. We, you know, we got to be, you know, I'm looking at, okay, then where is the supply chain link? What's happening in regards to that? You know, okay, what warehouse is they you know, are people actually getting their stock from, and how are they getting it? You know what I mean? You know, I had one incident where I was speaking to a brother who had like he had a hair shop in Sydenham, and I remember him saying that he got a delivery, and the delivery came in, and they made a mistake with the delivery, because it was meant to be someone else's delivery. And when he actually checked the receipt on the bill, the same product that he would get, right? The products were 30% less than he gets. And the reason for that is because it was for someone in their own community. And that's what we got to understand, that this is not something I'm saying. No, this is really very, 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 very real. And that's why when I, you know, when we talk about, you know, supporting, you know, we have to understand that it's you may think it's okay, well, it may be an inconvenience to spend maybe an extra 5 pence here, but you don't appreciate what our businesses are absolutely going through
right now.
And you know what, that is a statement of fact, in which a lot of black businesses, when they go to buy wholesale, I mean, the price are different for them. And you know, because we haven't got many wholesalers, we do have a few, but because we haven't got them, and we don't communicate that to everybody, I mean, that's one of the difficulties. Now, we're always going to those people who don't have the vested interest in our community to buy from them. And so we're actually at a point now where, no matter what we do, we're starting at the back of the queue. When the race is on, we are 30 yards behind and about to start.
That's right. But you know, we have started, you know, and which is, you know, like yourself, Paul, with Money Mob, highlighting, as well as we are, and other, you know, other sectors are highlighting these issues. And at some point, you know, we will come, you know, the coming together is coming. I truly do believe that.
But you know what?
And it will click, and you know, we will realize we are a force together, and that is when, you know, the changes in the distribution and so on.
And we have to start sharing the sort of the businesses that we can buy wholesale from, because I bet you that, you know, it's not so well known. There's a company called Step Up Back to Black, .co.uk. Now, they are wholesalers who provide a lot of the stuff that we buy, and they're a black-owned company, and they've been doing their work in the UK and in Africa for quite a while. So when we want to buy the products that we're looking for, they have it. But we automatically go to our cousins, and that is where the downfall is. So we need to start looking at who we're buying our products from, goods and services. We need to be aware. And what we need to start doing is looking at, I would ask people to send to Black Business Recommendation any of the companies that do wholesale, black-owned companies do wholesale. We'll put them up there so that everybody can go and find them, because that's important.
Other businesses,
you know,
the same way, you know, that like you're doing, Paul. But what I will ask, in terms of that, obviously, this, you've been galvanized now. The business is going. You know, you're mobbing loads of shops and businesses, and you're highlighting them and everything. How has the last year or 2 year, and nearly 2 years, what have the effects been to you to continue doing what you do, or did you have to shift in order to still deliver or try and do the things that you're doing with your business?
Okay. I didn't get all of the question, but I think I've got the gist
Well,
of it. I think
basically,
obviously
COVID,
the question is, based on
okay,
COVID, has that had an effect upon you,
how
and
you
how
do it?
have you, transferred around that, if you have been able to do that?
okay. You're right. It definitely has had an effect, because obviously bricks and mortar businesses had to now pivot in a way
Yeah.
that they did, and they didn't. And this is something, again, we were, we encouraged a lot in regards to what we were doing. We moved. I mean, when we had a chance to actually mob bricks and mortar, we did in a much more kind of COVID-friendly kind of environment,
Okay.
and we were able
Yeah.
to kind of do that. So we kind of concentrated on like markets, so they were kind of more like out there, and
Yes.
and then if we were not able to do that, then we kind of also moved towards online money mobbing. We money mobbed quite a big premium brand during, I think, in fact, during the last October Black History Month. I think we did it for about 2 weeks online, and
Okay.
which was very, very successful. So so that was really what it is. We tried to kind of get our businesses as much as possible to kind of pivot some of the some of what they were doing
Yeah.
from that kind of bricks and mortar. Some
Yes.
have actually done it. There were a lot of businesses, and they
Oh, we seem to have
are
lost.
businesses that I know
Oh, there you are.
closed down their bricks. They have thrived online. They've thrived and thrived very, very, very well online.
Yes.
And and they're still out there, and and doing very, very, very well.
Doing
So I
good.
said that was probably for us the main thing was for us to be able to do that, but also
Yeah.
trying to at least make people aware of because we then moved our show from like more radio. We did
Yes.
more podcasting, so that we're able to let people know about a
Yes.
particular business, and then much more kind of obviously social media kind of ready. We
Wonderful.
have like what is called a Buy Black Saturday. So then we were able to kind of feature businesses during that particular Saturday, not just one, but several businesses, and let
Several.
people where, okay, look, these are now the places for you to kind of look at, and so on and so forth.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay, so within that now, for yourselves, in terms of how Money Mob operates, do you see the possibility of going back onto the road, back on the road again? Yeah, and when do you
Yes.
see that happening? Because the Christmas period is coming. Yeah, so
Yeah, I think all right. What we have kind of concentrated on quite a lot, especially that during this particular time, which a lot of the businesses are there, and I love what's happening, is this whole idea of collectively working together, creating
Yes.
creating pop-ups here. So then now it's not just one business that you're now targeting. You're talking about maybe 10, 20,
Yes.
30, 40. I visited yesterday. There was an event. I was meant to be speaking up in Ilford. There's about 40 businesses that you could actually now look at and target, and get product from. So the idea of now really kind of targeting that type of thing is really, to me, very, very important. Especially, as you said, we're coming up towards this seasonal period, and you can
yeah.
get you can get all your seasonal kind of presents, soft toys, jewelry, food, hampers, that kind of thing.
All readily available now. Yeah.
Yeah, and they're readily available. You can get
Well,
your seasonal cards.
Yeah. So what I would ask you, thank you for sharing that, Paul. What I'm going to ask you is, you shared something in regards to some statistics earlier, and I think that would be is quite glaring, and some people may not know this, the power of the statistics and how much we could galvanize if we just used or spent a certain amount. Can you share that with us?
Yes, indeed. Okay, are you ready?
Okay.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
I'm seated. Let's do
All
this.
right. So, all right. So I've prefaced this by saying this: we do have the wherewithal within our own community to really now make positive and substantial changes in regards to how we as a community actually can grow. Okay, so the first statistic is this. We number anything between 1.1 and 1.3 million people in this country. They say about 3.1 million overall, and a report that was done by Voice, a newspaper, I think it was 2018. They said that we were worth in regards to the UK economy 300 billion pounds, right?
Hello.
300 billion pounds.
Brilliant.
So that would make us, if we were a nation, that would make us probably that would make us the 40th wealthiest nation on earth. Would make us more. It would make us wealthier than places like Pakistan, India, Bangladesh. It would make us collectively. That would give us more money than the whole of the Caribbean put together. Black
And that's
people
just the
itself
trick.
has a disposal.
And that is just in England. That's just in England.
And that is just in the UK, and that's
In the
what
UK.
this is why I'm saying what I'm saying. We're talking about a disposable income close to 30 billion in this in regards to our own community, but we only spend 2% of our income on our own, and this is something that is actually very, very kind of shocking. We're now talking about all right. We're talking about within the year 20 in the next 15 years, 2035, right? Our population will grow by
Yes.
35%.
Yes.
On the continent at the moment, on the continent, and that's why we have to be careful when we keep talking ourselves as a minority, because we're part of a
Yes.
global majority, right?
Right.
We number close to 2 billion people. 1.1 billion of us are in the continent, and it's something in the region of 900 million all over the world, right? And they're talking about 2015. They will see a significant rise on the continent. Why? Because 80% of the people on the continent of Africa are under the age of 25. So by
Yes.
2050, we're talking about a rise of 2.5 billion, and by 2100, it will be 4 billion. So that means they're talking about anything between 50% of the people in the next 79 years,
Yes.
we will become a global majority.
Yeah.
But we have to be thinking much more on a level. As I said, going back to the statistics, 2%, and we spend in our community. Now, when they talk about various communities, they're talking about in the Asian subcontinent community, they will spend, and their pound will stay anything between 10 to 15 days in their community. When you're talking about other European communities, they will last about 20 days in the community. When you're talking about the Black community, they're talking about anything between 3 to 6 hours that our money stays in our community, which is unsustainable. You know what I mean? And a stark statistic is this. I did a brief analysis of I'm quite close to the borough of Lewisham. Now the borough of Lewisham, right, has according to census 2018, 336,000 people in the borough, roughly. That is about the size of the island of Barbados, right?
Yes.
And of that, 40% of them are of ethnic minorities, and 20% of them are African Caribbean. So that's roughly about 75,000 people in that borough. Right. Out of that, I kind of roughly estimated that about say about 40,000 were employed, and they were earning roughly about £1,000 per month. Now, now that literally is something that would give us like, as an economy, that's £40 million in that borough alone. But we only spend 2%. So that gives us now, so we only spend £800,000 in our own community. And then we're now wondering why certain things haven't been done. Why we can't get this, we can't get this change. Why other communities are doing certain things and we're not. If you're spending less than £1 million on your own your own business community, then you're finished.
You are the one.
And that's what we don't appreciate. And that's why we have this, when they're talking about high unemployment, they're talking about hopelessness. They're talking about now a feeling where our young are now can't find direction. Why? Because there's no business, and there's no business community that's now been able to kind of wrap around and then create structures to help them now to think, okay, look, there is a future. And that's something, as I said, is going to be down to us. Every community employs their own, and we can't say, oh well, I'll just shout the racist card person. No, if you are not building a business, you're not building structures. How are we going to now employ our young? We are sentencing our young to a dismal future because they said we're just not spending enough. If we were to my final comment, if we were to spend 10% in our community, that would give us close to 50,000 jobs. 10%.
10%.
That's the reason why they said we now have to be looking more to ourselves, and now I'm not looking no more in regards to excuses. And I always say this: anytime you take out this out of your wallet, right, and you give and you're handing what the contents of it to someone that does not look like you, think before you do that, because it may be sentencing your children and my children to an uncertain and a drastically dreadful future.
I mean, I totally agree with you there, but I suppose now we're all about solutions as to how we can how we can rally that.
So let me start with a solution that, since we spoke today, one of the solutions is Money Mob are invited to Black Business Recommendation to post what you do on Black Business Recommendation, whether that be advertising that, this is what you're doing, or a live stream as to what you are doing. We are happy to open the door for you to do that, so you can tell the businesses that there are 10,000 potential people willing to watch and learn and to come to, because you are actually coming in from that direction that, they need to take that on board. And if that means that they're going to say to you, look, we're doing such and such and we've done well, the important thing is that we need to tell people who go money mobbing to go out there to continue visiting those businesses. It's not just a one-off, because if it's a one-off, it's a waste of time. It is literally, you go there, you've just found out this new place that does all your hair and beauty and all the things that you need, or your restaurant or your business, solicitor or whatever, you go there. And if you don't need them, you get in touch, you become their representative and tell other people. Because our cousins, anytime we say we want to go and we want a barber, or we want something, or we want to eat something, they always send us not to Sainsbury's, they send us to their family. And that's what we need to learn. We need to start talking about our family's shops so that we can actually educate our own to go and spend more. I've always said that we're not telling anyone to go and spend all your money elsewhere. What we're saying to you is, look at the percentage that you're doing, and every time try to increase it. Start with 10%. We are working with 50% at the present moment. We can do better. We will do better. You know, but
That's brilliant.
that's where we're at.
Yeah, yeah, indeed. So, what else? What's new now? Or
What's
what things do you have in the pipeline, Paul, going forward? Obviously, now we're entering into the period now where they're talking about, food and no food and stuff. So this is an
where is Money
opportune
Mob?
time.
What is Money Mob up to?
Yeah,
And
an
how can
opportune
we
time
support?
for you. So, what's next? What's coming up?
Okay, well, wow, for us, I mean, we will still be doing what well, during the month of October, and maybe further on, we're going to be doing a podcast on Instagram. If Instagram is still
Yeah,
alive, come Wednesday, so
exactly.
Wednesday at
Alive and
9.
kicking.
As the young people would say, after an hour, it's a thing of the past. That's old, man.
Exactly. So we will see how it goes. But at 9 o'clock on Wednesday, the 6th of October, we'll be doing like a live podcast on Instagram. It's a weekly podcast that we will be doing. Just talking all things black business and just kind of leading people there. And as I said, we will check us out in regards to that. We'll be able to let you know
Okay.
where you can kind of catch us. We'll be on the 9th of October. We'll be at Africa Fashion Week, because again, what people have to appreciate is that the fashion industry is a major part in regards to
Yes.
the wheels turning in regards to this particular country, and we supporting our artisans and designers
Mm,
are very, very, very important.
yeah.
So
I'm
we'll
gonna
be doing
just
some
share.
press there.
I'm just gonna share this as well, because obviously that's gonna show everybody. I don't know
Okay,
if you can see it as well. Yeah, supporting Black
I can see,
Business
I can
Black,
see.
how
Yeah,
they can contact you. This is the
thank
Money
you.
Mob, guys. This is how you can get in contact with Paul, okay, and find out how best that you can support. Okay.
So, Paul, can you talk about what else you're
Fantastic.
doing as well? Yeah.
Okay, yes. So what I said, we will be. I said Africa Fashion Week. We'll be at. I'll be speaking at a Black Brits an event that was done at the Redbridge Town Hall, and that will be done on Sunday the 17th of October. We will also be at the Black Business Week at the Queen Elizabeth Hall. That's in
Yeah.
Westminster. That's the 30th of October. So we'll be doing press down there. It's going to be quite a serious event. And from there, as I said, we will be kind of getting ourselves kind of ready in regards to several other events that we will be doing. We will
Leading
probably
up.
will be leading up to that. As I said, you check us out in regards to all of the things that we have. As I said, every Saturday we have a feature called Buy Black Saturday that we feature businesses, as I said before. And as well as I said, if you do have an event that's coming and you want us to attend, and if we can attend, we will definitely try to do that. We're also now moving further into the service area, because we know that, as I said, especially to now make things happen, because we have some
Yes.
serious plans for the future. We're looking now to be doing documentaries. We're looking to now provide books that we'll be able, and this is not just not just hard copy, but we're looking at like audiobooks per se, just letting
Yes. And
people know about businesses per se. But as I said, we also provide services. So if you are looking at maybe help in regards to your social media,
yeah.
but
Well, I think we might
we
have that as well. There you go.
okay, fantastic. So if you want help with social media, administration, digital marketing, events assistance, or you're looking at maybe having a business kind of money mobbed, or whether it's online or physical, then obviously you let us know in regards to that. As I said, our podcast, we have a weekly podcast. That's been down for a few weeks actually, but we're looking to have that again,
Yeah.
highlighting businesses. If you want to know about businesses in our community, please check out our podcast. Usually comes out every Thursday around 6 o'clock, and
Yeah.
Well,
and
as
also
long
we
as
are on.
everything that you're saying there What we need at BBR is that you post them, yeah, and what we will do, we will ensure that we automatically post it through, yeah. And when you're doing any lives, put it through, yeah, because we'll be happy just let it run, yeah, because
Fantastic. Thank you so,
Yeah.
so, so, so much. And
Yeah, there
that's
you
what it
go,
is.
guys. Just sharing some bits and pieces here. It's just some of
Yeah.
the team and the mob there. Okay, I'm just showing
yeah.
everybody
So
you can
so this
see.
week, what's
And this
happening
is, yeah,
over
this is myself and the sisters,
Yeah,
as I said, we're very, very busy in regards to that. And as I said, our YouTube channel, we're going to be looking to have a Patreon page. So if
yeah,
anything, please assist us in regards to that. We always say to our people, that yes, yes, I'm the face of the money mob, but you, us, we are all a part of the money mob, and I can only grow as much as us that are kind of conscious in regards to in regards to wanting to have
yeah,
someone who's actually focusing on you. You know what I mean? I've been
yeah,
approached
yeah,
by other
exactly.
communities that said to me, Paul, we would love you to do what you are doing
Yes.
in the money mob. And I've
mm,
said no. And I'm quite insistent. uh,
Yeah,
you have to you have to have at least someone that's trying to be a voice and an advocate for you.
yes.
When in many cases, they're not necessarily everyone. Not to say that people are not, because I'm facing two people right here that are our number one advocates in
Oh, bless
regards to
you.
our
We're trying to
community.
be
We love them.
consistent with what we do in our messaging and what, the same way like you are. It is important that, we all ring fence that same ideology and where we're trying to move to. And if we all can
Yeah.
realize and understand that, then, we'll get there a lot quicker.
mm.
It is important, especially in the light of last year. And obviously you would see that yourself, that there was a great
There's a forward
a
movement,
forward movement, and what we want is for that to
that
continue,
light to burn brightly.
and to be consistent. We do not want to fall
And
away. So
and that's what it is. It's just to be able to do the best that we can in regards to keeping the light burning. I would say just one last kind of thing in regards to the areas, and this is my humble advice, especially look, our businesses, they one of the things that I love doing in regards to the money mob is just featuring our business, because there are some fantastic businesses that
yes,
are out here, beautiful, really great businesses
Mm.
that are doing fantastic things. And I would say to them, please, please, please invest in marketing, invest in promotion, invest in the money mob, help us to help you, because
yes,
you can have a beautiful jewel, but if no one knows about it, if no one is
yes,
able to, and no one that
that's right.
in your community that loves you enough to be able to tell the world, how is people going to know about that jewel? So I'm saying, please invest much, much more in regards to how you market, how you invest in promotion, how you invest in PR, you know what I mean, and how that is that's conveyed to your public. And it's very, very important for us to be able to do that. And also, as I said, I have what is called the Support Black Business Code. And the Support Black Business
Mm.
Code is that, number one, stop criticizing businesses, just willy-nilly. Oh, a blanket criticism, all black
Yes,
businesses are like, because that is not the case. You know what I mean? Things like,
yeah,
oh, you won't say nothing to people that are in the shop, but next minute you're on social media criticizing, say, oh, they were
yes.
this, they were that, and what have you. Stop it.
Mhm.
Speak to people about about the
Ah,
service. If
well,
it's
that's quite
something that was
fortuitous
poor,
that you would
let
say
them
that,
know.
Claire. That's
You
quite
know that
fortuitous that you
what you
said.
said there is very much where we are, where we first started, and even today, when we first started, the first thing we say is, if there's an issue, talk to the manager, the manageress, and speak to them. Don't cuss, just speak to them, let them understand. If it's not going through, it's because it's not the appropriate time. But that person will hear you when a few people come in and say the same thing, right? That's how we progress. And you know, next week we've got someone, Yvonne Whittaker, and she is going to talk to us about customer services in the African businesses. So this is an area that we need to talk about, yeah? And also, while we are talking around the things that we need to do, we've identified that we need to talk to our members in BBR. So we've created a questionnaire. So we want our members to answer the questions in there. It may take a little while, but get yourself a nice drink, sit down and relax for a little while and do
Only
the
8 minutes.
questionnaire. Yeah, it will take you a very short time to. How long did it take you? Have you done yours?
Yeah, you know what? I was trying to click through because I've not. You said 8 minutes. I said, all right, fine. I'm gonna go through it. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna go for it. I need to actually go on the iPad and go for it. But literally, it was fine. Just fine. Just fine. Just I got to just click it through.
Yeah, cool. Yeah. Now, what we're saying to people is the reason why we're asking you this. It just so happened that today there's no media out there. Yeah, the internet is down in terms of the Facebook, the WhatsApp, and you know the other agencies. The question is this: if that happens, where do we go from there? If we don't create our own, if I cannot call you because I no longer have a link to you via the Facebook, we have a problem. So fill in the questionnaire so we can have your details, so we can share that with our community to say, these are the businesses that are there. We can pass that information on to say, Money Mob, listen, these are the people, they need some help. Come on, get down there, get our people down there. And we as Black Business Recommendation will work with Money Mob to get our community down there to support the businesses. But as we say right from the off, we need the collaboration and we need the information to help us to help you all. So,
and just a quick thing, just to say this, Hugh and Lorraine, okay? Please I don't want to hear, I don't want to give my details. When you want a phone, when you want this, when you want that, you will just fire away your details, no problem. And if you want to say, well, I don't want, they already know your details. So don't be coming with that.
Trust, because you know what? A lot of people say, well, I'm not signing anything to show. Listen, the mere fact that you open that cache, that information has been caught. It's just a matter of who's going to use it. Yeah.
The thing is, it's that we have to understand that we need to, you have people here that are galvanized and ready to serve you, to give you training, to help you grow, and for all of us to get better. And that's, yes, and care. And, in the good old fashioned way, in order for us to know how, the people and what services, what things will help you along the way, we need to be able to, with all of us, galvanize and collect that information. That way we can service you better. That way Money Mob can service you better, okay? And highlight your businesses the same way that all other companies are trying to do presently. So, it's a little bit of time. If you do that, then we will all get better. We will all be more knowledgeable. We will all know how to run our businesses better. We will know how to engage with our audiences and move forward collectively and show our young people this is the way you go about business. We do business our way, in the right way and in our way. Because as we all know, Paul, you said that earlier to me, when our parents came over here, they had their own banking system. And we seem to have forgotten that. So we just need to remember that there are processes in place, but we also have to remember that, the old mechanisms that are still with us.
The partner can still work. We have a company that does partner, so you can get along with some of your family and friends and say, you know what, there's 6 of us, let's get onto a partner. And here's the funny thing.
And we've got a lottery as well.
We've got lottery, we've got partner. It's all in the group. But here's the funny thing. A lot of people who say, I don't want to give my details to X, Y, and Z. What black bank do you know and how many you have, how many accounts. The information's already there. Now you have your community saying to you, come to us, let's work together. GDPR, we know what that's about. We're trying to make sure that your information is safe, but we use it in a safe way that we can help you to help yourselves. So stop with it, because you're already giving out your information.
Okay. So before we're going to round off with you having the last word in terms of, I know you told us what's coming up and so on. You know, what would you like to tell people that will perhaps be watching this throughout, you know, today, tomorrow, whenever? What messaging would you like to, you know, to leave with them?
I think the message is this: every penny that you spend, you know, when you look at your children, because as I said, the more your pennies circulate within your own community, you then help the future not only of your children but others. You must invest in self. You must invest in a future that's going to be will make it brighter for yours. You've seen how other communities, you've seen recent communities come and flourish. Why?
Yes.
Because they have a particular mindset, a particular idea, and we have to now look at not only ourselves and what we can do in our lifetime. We must now think about, all right, what are we going to be able to now provide and leave in regards to our children, our children's children, and our children's children's children.
Our legacy.
Must now have a more broader mindset in regards to our planning. And the last thing I would say is that we have to prepare to sacrifice a little bit in regards to that, whether it's a bit of time, whether it's a little bit of money, and a little bit of, and have a little bit more patience in regards to, because as I said, our businesses are not, they are at a different space than
Crucial point.
others.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think
for that.
I think you know what, that is beautifully said, because one of the areas that we need to actually look at is to say to people, listen, less of the satellite TV. Invest in your community. Look how much you spend a month. We're learning that right now. It's difficult, but we're learning that right now. You have to make the sacrifices. And if we don't do that, we're gonna have ourselves in trouble, because those cousins of ours, when they want to make money, they look on our community and they open shops where we live, and they open off licenses and every other thing, hair care products and everything in our community. So the money comes out of our pocket from our salary. And remember, the government's already taken about 60% what we earn, and then it's transferred into their community, and they drive past us in the car we wish we had.
Exactly.
So we need to take that on board.
Yeah.
We need to start spending in our own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, that's wonderful, and that's where we need to be. But that is why we've got wonderful businesses like yours, Paul. All right, and we thank you very much.
Thank
for
you
that,
so much,
because it is incredibly important, you know. And we look forward, and I'm sure you're going to get a lot of businesses saying, do you know what, we would love for you to come down, okay, and money mob us. So any businesses out there, you know what I mean?
And Paul, you know,
we will support you all the way.
You know, we've got many phone calls to be made between the two of us, the three of us, because there's lots of things that we need to work on together to support our community.
I know.
So it's a pleasure to start today.
Yes.
Yeah.
And thank you for your time.
Thank you for your time and your patience.
It's been a pleasure. Even though we got off to a rocky start, we persevered through, and it has been a wonderful evening conversing with you. And, you know, long may you continue doing what you're doing, Paul, because it is very essential what you're doing. And we see you.
And thank your team. Thank your team.
I will.
On behalf of Black Business Recommendation, we thank them for their hard, studious work. Thank you so much, Paul.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And we thank you for everything that you're doing. Take care.
Okay. Blessings to you, my brother. Take care.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, wow. That was wonderful.
That was wonderful. You know what? Because when you look at the work that Paul and his team do, you understand that to actually go to a company and say, look, I'm bringing people to your business and they're here to buy. That's a fabulous thing. And I hope that we all can do that or support Paul in doing that.
Yeah.
Now, next week we have...
next week, we have the wonderful Yvonne Witter. Yvonne has written a book, or a series of books actually, talking about some of the things that Paul touched on. Customer service. She's actually written a book. Okay. All right. And we'll be speaking to her about that.
And her business experience, because you know one of the funny things about us as a people, we are so multi-talented.
Yes.
You know, and this was an area that we wanted to talk about. Yeah, customer services. And Yvonne has written this book, Yvonne Witter, and you can get it on Amazon. Yes, so please get on board.
It's a great read, and it's done in our
language,
all right, in our speak. So we look forward to speaking to her next week. But until then, okay, it has been a pleasure, and we look forward to seeing you.
We look forward to seeing you, even through adversity. We will be there one way or another. So this will be uploaded as soon as we can, but it has been gone through YouTube.
Well, you're watching us on YouTube now. You're watching us on YouTube now. So, we will be sharing that again. But one more time, if you are able to complete the questionnaire in regards to
the direction of what we're doing,
please go.
And it will also give you an idea where we want to head, and we want your opinion. We want you to tell us and show us the way. So answer. It takes about 8 minutes. Yes, answer the questionnaire, and you never know, you might be winning a prize.
Exactly. Well, have a great week, everybody.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
And we look forward to seeing you next week, Monday. Hopefully, live streaming everywhere.
Yep.
At 8 o'clock.
Yep.
Have a good week. Until then,
take care. Blessing to you all.
Blessing.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.